A ceasefire takes effect in Gaza, the first. This is the start of what will be a long and complex process. We examine the next steps needed for a lasting peace. Also tonight.
ITV Evening News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. Tens of thousands of Palestinians have started making an emotional journey home after a ceasefire finally began in Gaza. At noon local time, Israeli troops withdrew to lines agreed under a President Trump-backed peace deal. That prompted crowds of people to head back to what remains of their homes in the north. Under the first stage of the plan, Hamas must release all remaining Israeli hostages by noon on Monday. And Israel is to release 2,000 Palestinian prisoners and detainees. The deal has raised fresh hopes for an end to the conflict in Gaza, but ceasefires have been broken before. In the first of our reports, here's our international editor Emma Murphy on the Palestinians returning to ruins. As thoughts now turn to rebuilding Gaza and rebuilding Palestinian lives, there are huge challenges ahead. The vast majority of homes in Gaza are no longer suitable as accommodation, with 92% damaged or destroyed by Israeli military action. Out of its 36 hospitals, fewer than half are still operational, and none of these are fully functional. More than 15,000 people, including close to 4,000 children, need specialist treatment outside Gaza, and it's estimated 500 to 600 aid trucks could be needed daily just to meet the population's basic needs. With the latest data showing 81% of public water and sanitation facilities have been out of reach for most, located in areas that were militarised or under displacement orders. Well, international editor Emma Murphy is in Tel Aviv for us tonight. Emma, it is vital that the aid gets into Gaza. What are the plans to make that happen? Well, in Israel, there is a tense and anxious wait for the return of the remaining hostages. It's thought 20 are still alive, and their families and friends have been expressing their relief at the ceasefire and their enduring hopes of seeing their loved ones again. From southern Israel, here's our correspondent Rachel Younger. Well, President Trump is set to visit the region this weekend for the signing of the peace deal and in time for the release of the Israeli hostages. Our US correspondent Dan Rivers is at the White House tonight. Dan, what do we expect the president to do when he arrives in the Middle East? There is more ahead tonight, including that in a few minutes. Hello and welcome back. The son of former world champion boxer Ricky Hatton led the tributes today at his father's funeral. Campbell Hatton said he was so proud of his dad and had many memories which he will cherish forever. Thousands lined the streets of Manchester as the funeral cortege passed by on its way to the city's cathedral. And among the many celebrities attending the service was Liam Gallagher, Wayne and Colleen Rooney and Bez from the Happy Mondays. From Manchester, here's our North of England correspondent Rachel Townsend. Some other news now, and a man who was fined for burning a copy of the Quran outside the Turkish consulate in London has won an appeal against his conviction. The leader of Plaid Cymru says his party stands ready to replace Labour in leading the next Welsh government. In a speech to delegates in Swansea, Reen ap Iorwerth also pledged to introduce universal free childcare. A recent poll for ITV Welsh show Plaid could be the largest party after next May's Senedd election, closely followed by Reform UK. From the conference, here's our Wales reporter, Rhys Williams. Tributes have been paid to the Moody Blues singer and bassist John Lodge following his death at the age of 82. Born in Birmingham, he played on some of the band's biggest hits, including Nights in White Satin. Tori Watson looks back at his career. You can find more of today's top stories on all our platforms, including ITVX. It is just coming up to 7. Emmerdale's here in half an hour. But first, a special report on the new campaign to save more young lives by improving the diagnosis of child and teenage cancers. It's aimed at GPs and hospital doctors and asks them to check for cancer if there are 3 persistent symptoms, 3 recent visits or 3 weeks of unexplained illness. The campaign follows a landmark study which looked at how children and young people were diagnosed with cancer across the UK. It found half waited for more than 1 month, which can sometimes mean it's too late. Antoine Allen heard from 2 families who believe their children would be alive today if their cancer was caught in time. One of them was 19-month-old Delilah Ray, whose tumour was missed and who died days after finally starting chemotherapy. Her mother took photos of Delilah Ray's tumour to try and convince doctors something was wrong, and we include them in this report. Let's get an update on what is making the news tonight. An Afghan migrant has been convicted of making a threat to kill Reform UK leader Nigel Farage. Fayez Khan, who came to the UK after crossing the Channel on a boat, made the threat in a TikTok post in October last year. Mr Farage described the video as pretty chilling. Olivia Guthrie is at Southwark Crown Court where the case was heard. Olivia, what did the jury hear? Next, how Prince William was visibly moved after hearing about the devastating impact of suicide. In a video shot for the Prince and Princess of Wales's Royal Foundation and released by Kensington Palace, William met with Rhiannon Mannings, whose husband took his own life days after the death of their 1-year-old son. And as our royal editor Chris Shipp reports, Rhiannon also told ITV News about her unimaginable loss. And if you have been affected by any of the issues raised in our report, there is help available on our website, itv.com/news. All the details will be there. A man who stabbed a Syrian refugee in the neck on a crowded shopping street in Huddersfield has been detained for life with a minimum term of 23 years. The government is warning travellers to be prepared for a longer wait when going into the EU as a new digital border system is introduced. Starting this weekend, there will be a gradual rollout using biometric information, including facial recognition and fingerprints. But there are fears it'll cause delays, as our consumer editor Chris Choi explains. Television personality Ant Middleton is being sued by the Ministry of Defence over an alleged breach of contract. Hollywood star George Clooney is on London's South Bank tonight for the premiere of his new movie. Jay Kelly sees him play an ageing actor in what critics have called a midlife masterpiece. Our entertainment reporter Rishi Davda is at the Royal Festival Hall this evening. Rishi, some are saying this is one of his best performances yet. And after nearly 40 years, MTV will stop showing rolling videos in the UK, with 5 channels set to stop broadcasting at the end of this year, according to widespread reports. All right, coming up before Emmerdale, join me and Lucy in just a few moments. It is time for the weather now. Lucy is here. Lucy, how is it looking for the weekend?
It's looking quite good, actually, I have to say. It's staying dry. There's going to be some sunny spells.
Fingers crossed.
But a few fog patches. So something to watch. Very common. So could be better, could be worse. Yeah. But I'll take sunshine any day of the week.
I think you said cheerful. I'll take that. Lucy,
very much so.
Thank you. And finally tonight, could your dog be addicted to their toys? Well, that's a warning from scientists who found a third of our furry friends exhibit compulsive behaviour over games such as fetch. Dog trainers say it's important for pets to enjoy a variety of activities. Here's our science correspondent Martin Stew on when puppy love turns into obsession. Just love to play. That's all from us for now. Paul will have the latest from Tel Aviv at 10, but from me and all the evening news team, bye-bye. Have a great weekend.